What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the PS5 career mode. This is episode number 55. And we start today's episode off with the injury details for Jamal Lewis, and as you can see, he dislocated his shoulder in our last game, in the last episode. He's going to be out for 2 months, and our Northern Irish fullback is going to miss some crucial games in this run as well, including both legs of our Europa League round of 32 tie against RB Leipzig. So yeah, I mean, obviously I couldn't have asked for a better replacement for Omar Richards as well. You know, when we sold Omar at the start of season 3, I was gutted. It was our first sign in the series. He'd grown so well. We absolutely loved him. I said it, he was probably my favourite player in the club, my favourite player in the series until we sold him. But to sign Jamal Lewis, the Northern Irish fullback from Newcastle, he's been an amazing replacement. Couldn't have asked for anything better from the former Newcastle man and the former Canary as well. But out for 2 months, big blow there for Jamal. So for the first game of today's episode, he missed this one, of course, the FA Cup 4th round clash at home to Leeds United. Obviously got through the 3rd round by beating League One Rochdale. Felt pretty confident heading into the game. Did pick a really strong lineup for the match as well against Bielsa's side. We did trail early on, but despite going down by a goal, this was just one of those games where I never really felt that pressured. I still believed we would get the win even when trailing, because we just dominated really from first whistle to last. Past the hour mark, still tied at 1-1 after Kelman found our leveller. Andy Rinomota, big Andy the captain, only scores bangers as we know, makes it 2-1, gets us in front for the first time in the game, and a few minutes later, chance to make it 3-1, give ourselves a 2-goal cushion. Lovely through ball by the skipper, but Brechize Sally cannons one off the post and couldn't convert from close range. So yep, 2-1 QPR, and this was how the game would finish as well. And it was just one of those matches where I think the scoreline wasn't really reflective of how the game was played. It seems like we only just about won it coming from behind in a very close game. Really wasn't like that at all, man. Absolutely dominated from start to finish. Yes, Leeds had a lot of the ball, as the AI always do, but for the most part, we should have won this game by 3 or 4 goals. Had my finishing been better, we certainly would have done so. So into the 5th round of the FA Cup. Through to the last 16, and of course that will be coming at the start of March, as we hopefully will go a bit further than the round we got to last season, which was of course the round of 16. So as transfer deadline day was right around the corner, we had a bid for Patrick Roberts here, as TSG Hoffenheim wanted to take him to Germany to play alongside Omar Richards in the Bundesliga. Roberts came in on a free transfer at the start of last season. You know, it'd been okay for us, but nothing too spectacular. So I wasn't against cashing in, and I decided to do so as well. I negotiated a £25 million deal with the Germans to send him to the Bundesliga and play alongside Omar. And after the first hour of transfer deadline day was completed, the deal went through. Patrick Roberts goes to the Bundesliga, £25 million. Whilst we didn't need to sell anyone, because we still had around £69 million. Nice. In our transfer budget before deadline day started, that money put us up to around £92.5 million. And I mentioned him a few times in today's episode. With all that money in our transfer budget and Jamal Lewis going down with that 2-month injury, I thought it's time to bring a fan favourite back to the Kind Prince Foundation Stadium. He spent the last 3 seasons, or 2.5 seasons, playing in Germany in the Bundesliga for Hoffenheim, but he was my favourite player, alongside the Bull, of course, before we sold him to Hoffenheim. I've missed him dearly. Jamal's been an incredible replacement, but you can't replace what Omar's done for my heart. What? I don't know. That was cringe. Shut up. What was that? Regardless, Omar, we loved him so much, man. Absolutely loved him. I'm sure you guys have seen him in real life as well. He's been linked with a move to Bayern Munich as well. Just call me Docs the Scout, man. Bayern Munich want to sign him and bring him to Germany. But in the game, he's in the final 1.5 years of his contract at the Bundesliga side Hoffenheim. We agreed a crazy good deal of £60 million plus Jay De Silva as well. And as you'll see, Omar Richards signs the thing and returns to the Kind Prince Foundation Stadium. And I was playing 4D chess because I knew we had that sell-on clause from when we sold him. So Omar Richards approached by Hoffenheim. 2 years ago they had Ryan Sessegnon on loan from Spurs, and here now they want another English left-sided player to come in and fill that gap. They agree a £62.5 million plus a 9% sell-on clause with us as well. Start cashing in if you get a really good deal for that player. We did 62.5 million. Again, don't forget the 9% sell-on clause as well. Yep, when we sold Omar to Hoffenheim back in season 3, we included that sell-on clause, and even though we're the club that's buying him back to the Kind Prince Foundation Stadium, the sell-on clause is still active in the contract. So we received just over 5 to almost 5.5 million, despite bringing Omar back for 60 million, and what an incredible deal that was. So in the end, it was around 55 mil plus Jay Da Silva for an 89 rated left back. You saw his stats there. I don't think he can be an inside forward on the right hand side, but what an incredible deal. That means we still had around 44 mil in the transfer budget as well. And I thought, you know what, we've just brought back Omar Richards. Why don't we bring back another fan's favourite? One of our players of the season back in season 1. He struggled to adapt in season 2, so we cashed in on him in season 3 and sold him on the very same transfer window alongside Omar to Germany. Welcome back, Bright Osei Samuel. Yes, of course, in real life he's just gone to Fenerbahce, but here we're bringing him back to Queen's Park Rangers. 40.5 million, I believe, was the transfer fee we arranged with Hertha Berlin. And Bright Osei Samuel, like Omar Richards, left us in the same transfer window at the start of season 3 and rejoins the club in the same transfer window halfway through season 5. Bright and Omar back at the Kind Prince Foundation Stadium. Massive drama on transfer deadline day, and again the deals we negotiated there absolutely superb. Around 100 million for the pair. 84 rated Bright is now, 89 rated Omar Richards. Great timing from the step back in with Jamal Lewis's 2-month injury as well, and I'm absolutely buzzing. What fantastic deals we pulled off on transfer deadline day. Yes, we've lost Patrick Roberts, but he was a bit meh since we signed him on a free transfer at the beginning of last season. As for Jay Da Silva, he's been good to be fair, growing to 81 overall, but let's be honest here. Jay Da Silva or 89 rated Omar Richards. I know which one I'm taking every day of the week. So as transfer deadline day was ending, we had no money left over. We could have sold a couple of players, but I didn't want to change this QPR team anymore. We had a bid for Chris Willock. We always get bids for Willock, but I said no. And 2 for Charlie Kelman as well. And I thought, you know what, let's put an end to this and nip this in the bud right now. Charlie, sit down with me. How much do you want for a new contract extension? He signs a new 1-year extension, 30 grand a week, as Kelman is staying, mainly for the realism. He's on a super cheap wage and 81 rated. He deserved more than that. So that's it then. That is it. Transfer deadline day ends. Oh my word, incredible drama on transfer deadline day. I couldn't wait for you guys to see this episode, man. Absolutely amazing. It's 2 fans' favourites return back to the Kind Prince Foundation Stadium on transfer deadline day. We ended for Cameron Wilkinson as well as transfer deadline day ended. Of course, we rejected it because we like the academy graduate. He still does have, by the way, potential to be special, even though it's taken him ages to start growing in his overall rating. And you would have noticed as well, we had a 75 million net loss for the transfer window as well. So this is the first time I can't bust out the classic Arsenal Fan TV clip and say, fella, don't talk about spend. Talk about net spend. No, I can't do it this time around. That was a terrible impression. I can't do it this time around. But regardless, £75 million loss to bring back those 2 fans' favourites and incredible players in the prime of their careers right now. I think it's safe to say we played this window pretty perfectly. So this is the team we're left with then between now and the end of the season. And the real question is, as Omar and Bright come back in, is it going to be good enough to be competitive on all the 3 fronts we're fighting on right now? We're currently sitting top of the Premier League, but only just, with Man City and Liverpool breathing down our necks. And of course, we're still in the FA Cup after winning against Leeds into the last 16. And of course, we've got the Europa League round of 32 tie against one of the favourites to win it, RB Leipzig. Are we good enough to remain competitive in all of these 3 fronts, or will we have the same problems as last season? You ask me honestly, I'd say I'm not sure. Not like me to sit on the fence, right? I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know. I feel like one of these competitions is going to have to be sacrificed for us to stay competitive in 2 of the 3. I'm not sure we can compete for a treble in Season 5. Possibly. I mean, our first 11 is amazing. Our bench is really strong. But, you know, we haven't had that many injury problems since the season began, with Jamal going down as the first of the season. If we do have, like we had last season, a bit of an injury crisis at some point, will we be good enough to remain competitive on all three fronts and go for a treble? I just don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But for the second and final game of today's episode, Aston Villa away at Villa Park right now sat in 15th place in the Premier League table, only a few points above the drop zone, so fancying our chances here as Omar would make his second debut for the club away at a snowy Villa Park. But it is worth noting, we've struggled against this team, especially away from home. Against Aston Villa at Villa Park, I believe our record is played 3, won 1, drawn 1, lost 1. We've struggled since coming here, since the season began, since the series began. So heading into this game, I was feeling confident but wary of the difficulty we have coming to this ground. And whilst we might have been the better team and played the better football, we didn't take our chances. And here's another classic Doc saying for you: if you don't take your chances, you will be punished. Aston Villa win it with 2 goals in the final 15 minutes. Tony Martinez at the double as Aston Villa claim a massive victory in their bid to survive and pull away from the drop zone. 2-0 the final score as Dean Smith-Besme and his team collect a massive 3 points at a frosty, snowy Villa Park. An unhappy second debut for Omar Richards. 2-0 the final score. A big defeat there away from home. And despite that being the case, we do remain at top of the table for now. But as you'll see the league table after my post-match interview where I refuse to throw my players under the bus, we're only top now on goal difference and 1 clear of third placed Manchester City as well. 13 games to go. The goal difference is so tight. 1 point separates the top 3. Who is your money on as we close out the season to win the Premier League Championship? Last year's champions Man City, the best team throughout the course to save Liverpool, or us, the newcomers? Who is going to win the title in a crazy dramatic Season 5? Well, that was today's episode of the PS5 Career Mode, guys. A big thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed, if you have, then please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and there will of course be a guaranteed quadruple upload weekend as well. So please drop a like for the support. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of PS5 Career Mode featuring the RB Leipzig tie very soon.